Hi, and welcome back to Disco Elysium, where we are exploring Martinez and are now going into the pawn shop. Okay, we're in the pawn shop. Let's look around. There's the guy. Let's see, what do we have here? Some kind of machine, an antique cash register. We have a bust of a woman. The plaque simply says Dell. The dark film projector is whirring away. I heard that too. Mostly military wear with a few more eccentric fashion thrown into it. Okay, let's look through the stuff first, or let's do it like the last shop. Let's talk to the guy first.
It's not often that I see officers of the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of lights across the wall of the shop. Now that the RCM is here, tell me, have you had any trouble lately?
I haven't really had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about the inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
This business plan is all over the place. You should specialize, zoom in, recapitalize.
It keeps me entertained.
I can do the electrochemistry check to see if he is high and to look at what he is on. It's great, okay. Do you know anything about the traffic menace on the loose? He doesn't drive. But didn't you hear when the traffic menace drove over your roof? Now that I think about it, I do remember hearing a thunderous noise the other night, some kind of powerful electric vortex hitting the shop and then moving on. That should narrow us down our list of suspects. A vortex sounds fascinating. Yeah, it was pretty wild. I didn't really know what to make of it, but I know it meant something. Do you happen to have any guns like the ones carried by officers of the citizens' militia? Someone else came here earlier today asking the same questions. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back. Yep. Was the buyer a policeman too? She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying. Right, so let me get this right, the lieutenant turns to you. You sold your sidearm issued by a citizen's militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it? Yeah. I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit a crime and blame us on the citizens' militia? You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her. Any idea where I can find this buyer? He has no idea. A needle in the haystack. There's nothing you can do it about now. You will. It is wrong. You can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you look. You will just have to hope you luck upon her somehow. Wow. I'm terrible with language today. Wait, I sold my gun? You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the revolutionary citizens militia, and I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions, the unhealthy kind. He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you. I feel like there's something you're not telling me. You weren't quite yourself, officer. You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight and you need the money. When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it. How much did I sell the gun for? 15 real. It's clear that he hopes this tableau might still turn out to be a bad dream. It's not. This has to be the most wow. There's pity there too, in case you didn't notice. Happens to the best of us, I guess. It certainly does, especially in Ravishore. At least now I know how I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else. Of course. You might be able to aid our investigation. Know anything about the recent hanging? I do my best to keep my distance from all manners of butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone. He doesn't know anything. Actually, that's all I've got. Nothing new about the gun. Then I'm gonna go. First, what's that? Track down your gun. Keep looking, maybe someone knows something. Okay. We want the electrochemistry gloves. We don't want the white tank top. Now we might want to have it here. I might want to sell all the other stuff. Safe. Oh, friend guy wants to talk. Okay, Kim, what do you have to say?
Putting it today, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager for damages yet. You should take care of that then, but I don't have the money. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM should be sleeping in the streets. We figure something out. Though he finds the situation frustrating, he's doing his best to not make you feel any worse than you already do. We can try to negotiate. Okay. I wanted to...
Greetings on this fine night. What brings you here?
How comes you're still open? Okay, we have now above 50% chance. Roy doesn't really sleep. Okay, so let's see what he's high on. Check failure. Load again. I want to see what he's high on.
Greetings on this. The pawn shop is always open.
And again. Safe's coming. Yay. You all like it.
Greetings on this. The pawn shop is always open.
I'm doing bad rolls today. I need a 6 to win. That should be possible.
Greetings on this. The pawn shop is always open.
No, I need a 7 to win. Yeah. Yeah, we got a 7. Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light while the mind continues to race forward, lucky bastard, he's probably on pyrrolidon. What's that? Drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It had psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow. Is it just me, or is it really warm in here? I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature. There's a note of indignation in his voice. Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they are similar to the halogen reticle on your jacket. Say, what's with the triangles on your vest? I was with the emergency relief brigade, you know, after the People's Pie disaster. Had to take pyrrolidone for radiation sickness. That's what you were hinting at just now, wasn't it? He's taking it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days. Tell me of the people's pile. Bad idea, some pure leftists built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable energy to underserved communities. It malfunctioned, radioactive waste everywhere, probably some of it in you too. Emergency Relief Brigade. We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized, tried to help fire brigades contain the spill. I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The aspirants didn't have the heart to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. It must have been tough radioactive cleanup. There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment and early death, cancer mostly, and we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best as we could. Whose fault was it? No one's, everyone's. So much bitterness. How did you end up running a pawn shop? Cleanup happened 50 years ago, I was young then. Later my second aunt died, left me this shack and the assorted junk in it. So I came to Martinez, people told me don't go there, it's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far from work as I can. Still in the same city, but thanks for telling me. Level up and experience gain. I like theory more than story. Outward movement, not vortices. Care to share your pyrrolidone with me? Have you tried it before? It's almost like he's worried for you. The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some knickknacks on display. Looks like he doesn't want to get involved. Go ahead then, he thinks. As long as you can walk straight, I don't care. He won't be your narc, but he won't be thrilled about this either. I haven't, but don't worry, I can take it, if you say so. Here you go, man. He presents a large cap-shaped object in the palm of his hand. Very odd-looking. Yes, darling, that's the coalition government-ordained pyrrolidone, straight into your gut. Not sure about this. Why wouldn't I be sure? Because it's an anti-radiation drug and you're a cop, not a post-apocalyptic scavenger? I take it. But I hope I don't immediately take it, because I want to see it. Gives psych, but I lose health. Okay. And I got it for free, because I can sell it now. But what I wanted to do is, I wanted to unlock... I've not enough skill points available? I have. Don't I? I have enough skill points. You do not have enough available. Slot is already unlocked. What? Slot is already unlocked. That's weird. I unlocked a new slot, and I want to go to the Kingdom of Conscience here. Okay, that's what I did with that point. I don't have a point for this, yeah? Okay. So I still have to look around in the pawn shop, but I think that's the first thing I'll do next morning. Do I still have the ledger in the hands? That looks weird. Yeah. Gives me minus authority. Great. Interfacing? Nope. These look better than the other ones. Okay, I'm going back to my hostel because I need to sleep. First day is over. I hope I'm not missing too much because this is late now. Like, I'm missing too much because it's been a few hours of... Okay, I cannot interact with all the persons. I was a bit worried. I hope there's not too much of time-specific stuff that I have to do in the first 2 days or something. About the money I owe, I was wondering if we could come to some sort of arrangement for tonight. Does that arrangement include you paying me what you already agreed you owe me? It's cold out. I'll freeze to death because I'm losing on the stupid money game. Game? Everything is just a game to you, isn't it? Hold on, I still have my key, you know. Good luck trying to use it. He taps his foot against the metal box installed in the back of the counter. All the locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked down here with a master key before your guest key will open the lock. This conversation isn't going anywhere, does it? Not until you bring me the money. Okay. He turns to you with a heavy sigh. Kim, I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here. I really didn't want to resort to this, the man is thinking. Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here. He has offered help, go to his motor carriage. Okay. What else is new here? I have seen at this. Didn't I? Yeah. Whatever. Go to his motor carriage. Don't turn it on again. It's so loud. Please don't turn it on. I hope that we can get whatever he wants without turning it on. It's so loud. I have something here we could sell. Look in the back in the suspect transport enclosure. Transport enclosure, regular people just call it the cage. Look in the cage. Cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark. I confiscated these 4 a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop. What do you mean you confiscated them? A couple of weeks ago I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition officer's son and high. So you took his spinners? I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence. I get it, I would have confiscated them too, they're mesmerizing. That they are. He looks at the spinners and sighs. I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. I never asked them back. He never asked them back. What are these things? They're spinner hubcaps, frivolous things you put on your wheels. When the wheels come to a stop, the caps keep on spinning. There's no real use for them, it's just for vanity. If vanity you wouldn't mind. Did you want to put those at your machine? Oh no, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC anyway. A cop with spinners, that would be outrageous. Outrageously cool. He flashes a smile. I'm sorry you have to sell them because of me. As I said, they're useless anyways. I should have remembered I have these earlier. Thanks. I appreciate your help. Really, thank you. Spinners for 200. Thank you, man. Really, thank you. Is there a way to get enough money on the first day without that? I'll never know. Or maybe I will.
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
I'd like to sell these hubcaps, says the lieutenant. Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of the pawn shop. Yes, these are very, very good. I'll give you 200 real. No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you. Of course, I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again. Here's the 130 real you need for the bill. Do not waste it. The rest goes in his pocket. The rest is for him to compensate for the pain of being separated from his radiant spinners. The windfall is a small consolation. I have this commemorative pin, but before I sell it, I have some questions. Saint-Baptiste Summer Dinghy Races 31. What a present time that was. So what do you want to know? Price? I can give you 320 for it. That's all I wanted to know about the pin, thanks. I'm not selling it. I'll check my pockets. I need the pen to write. I need the pin to give back. The Lieutenant's handkerchief. I think I will wash that and give it back to him. There's a ampoule of ammonia. This is a quest item. You don't have to equip it to use it. Just having it in your inventory is enough. And this is the empty cassette case, which I think we need. And I could sell something of my clothes, but I might need it for the right bonus at the right time. What was here? Just the return to guard with the cash. Okay, we will investigate the rest of this place tomorrow. If I remember. Because that will be in the next session. I can pay my debts, and I only owe Kim 130 now.
Can I help you?
I have your money. Here's it. Here it is. Sorry for your trouble. Great, thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow. He's not sorry about his behavior for your sake. Now that you have money, he really wants to make sure you're not angry with him. He takes out his keychain and fiddles with the mechanism behind the counter. The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 21 o'clock tomorrow. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow, 20 real per night. I take a room here too. Always happy to have officers from the RCMS guys. Anything else I can do now? Goodbye. He's taking a room. Okay. End of day debrief. On the balcony after 22 o'clock. I assume we make our end of day thing now. That's not his room? This door doesn't work at all. I assume then this way? For the debrief. We learned much today.
Yes?
Ah, there. Gusty will briny wind. No, not here. What did it say? After 22 o'clock, when you're calling it a day, on the Whirling in Rick's balcony. Which is this one. Is this the balcony? Are you talking about the inner balcony? Do we have to be in a specific position, like here? Or here? Here. Nothing on the front page rings a bell. Strange. Front page of what? I want my debrief. Okay, we have to wait for him to go out of the wall so we can have our talk.
Yes?
I want my debrief. End of day debrief. On the Whirling Rake's balcony after 22 o'clock when you're calling it a day. Okay, let's try the balcony again. I have no idea how this works. And why it doesn't work. Most importantly.
Yes?
Okay, I don't think that we get the debrief. I don't think that works. From the money I paid you, could you please repair my room? Apparently not. This door to the room you decorated. Good night,
Just a
Lieutenant.
moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Oh, let's go out to the balcony. What an idea. I would have never thought of that, going out to the balcony. Let's go. Sometimes I'm frustrated with games that require to do a specific action in a specific order, but the other order that would also be totally fine in universe just doesn't work in game. The outside is brisk, the lieutenant is silent for a moment, he listens to the traffic hum
Where
then.
shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
I didn't know you smoked, Kim. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual. Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette. I think I might want to pick up smoking. Do you have any more cigarettes? I apologize, but I only brought one with me. I have exactly one cigarette every night while going over my notes. How did you get so cool? This isn't cool, it's an unnecessary trial of will and unhealthy. Keeping that habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Right then, the debrief. How do you think today went? Were you so hungover that you couldn't keep it down when we approached the hanged man, so we didn't even expect the body? But we performed a thorough search of the premises of the crime scene, that's great. Though you really dropped the ball on expecting the body, he doesn't want you to feel too discouraged, probably out of fear that you'll just give up and keep drinking. Don't worry, Kim, I'll totally be up for inspecting the body tomorrow. I'll look forward to that. As for the interviews, we weren't able to find the union leader, Everard Clare, much less interview him, so that's on the to-do list for tomorrow. We didn't talk to the Wild Pines rep, we really must do that tomorrow. Above all though, today was exhausting with all the running. You run a lot. Is that standard Precinct 41 practice? I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until we get up tomorrow. I don't like to waste time, you know. My mind moves fast, the rest has to try to keep up. It's impressive, especially for a man your age and in those years. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green, goes with the orange. So what are our powers exactly, the RCM? They're quite limited. Actually, the power officers of the Revolutionary Citizens Militia exercised most frequently is imposing fines up to 1,000 real for offenses in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule. 1,000, why not more? We're not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure. Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse? Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM. Okay, what else? We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. How can you be sure the arrestee will show up? You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up. I see if someone resists. As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary and strongly admonished not to abuse that power. What happens to the people we convict? We don't convict, we arrest and send to the coalition government courts in Couronne and La Data. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. Right, so if I kill someone on duty, you have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually a witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best. And who makes all the rules? The coalition government and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution, so we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order, no more no less. His gaze is absently fixed on a window below that just went dark, or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It is a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM. Let's say it was the coalition government. It's probably more honest, yes. Either way, the moral intern leases us the rights to keep the peace in the city, and they will take it away if we misuse it. Or if they think you do. What's the moral intern? Moral intern are the world's largest political organizations. You know who they are? They run this place after the revolution failed. If I didn't know, how would you describe them? I really don't know, that's how bad it is in here. Okay, they're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world. What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats. Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores Day. What is their symbol? The others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores Day. Okay. Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that. Something kind and usual. Something almost self-explanatory. Something ominous. Something even a little feminine, but in a strict manner. Who was Dolores Day? Heroic figure? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The author of The Modern Age, also. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me. What do you think of them? They are a fact. I try not to have opinions on fact until they change, and it doesn't look like that's about to happen. It's more than that. There's some kind of affection in him. You like them? Yes, I did. When I was young, in my 20s, I considered myself a moralist, a blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky. They are not all that bad. That's another leitmotif associated with moralism. I didn't know you could use that word in English. That's a German word. I have an opinion on the moral intern. Do you? Things are bad out there. We need them here, giving us the right to police Revachol. In fact, we would need them even if you didn't think that way. We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Maybe we should make our own law. Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop, but hypotheticals aside, in Martinez we already are vigilantes. At least the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging. Look into the night. The dying lights of the city shimmer below slowly like luminous clouds they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next track. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here. Finally he pulls the cigarette and says, they really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid Kuno? It's different inland, in Jamrock and in the Gry. Why are they like this? It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdiction of our 2 precincts, and in Jamrock and the Gry. We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. We are in control and it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate. I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here, at least do some good. Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetime. Thank you for this. And we leveled up for doing the end of day debrief. Yeah, it's getting very cold now, let's go. Oh, we are already almost done with one of those again. But we got another skill point and this time I wanna put it into something, don't I? Let's wait on it. One thing that is at 97%. Okay. So, let's continue tomorrow when I come back to a new session of Elysium. See you then. Have a nice day.